Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you a journal with me video. So I think I'm going to have a more in-depth video coming, hopefully, all about just some changes to my schedule and whatnot. But I am planning on getting some more videos up over here on YouTube because I am taking an indefinite break from Patreon. So I absolutely loved and adored my Patreon, but I just think it's the right choice for me. So one thing that I did share over on Patreon every single Sunday was a series called Journal With Me Sunday. And whenever I was telling everyone over there that I was going to be stopping my Patreon, I got a lot of messages specifically about this series and that people were really sad to see it go. So I was thinking, since I am going to be focusing a little more on YouTube for the time being, that maybe something fun that I could start to share over here would be journal with me videos. I really do love working in my Hobonichi, and recording these videos helps me so much with accountability for getting these daily pages completed. So I am hoping that I will have a journal with me video up just about every week over here. That's going to be my goal. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying not to put any big pressure on myself, but there will definitely be more consistent journaling videos over here if you are into that kind of thing. So we are starting May in my Hobonichi. So I'm using the A6 size. So it's quite small, tiny. It's just really fun to work in for me. And it is the 6-month version. So we are nearing the end of this one. So it is getting a little thicky, but I'm still trucking along with it. But I do have May and June to complete in here. And then I will move on to the second half of the year, which I think should really help because it is starting to get big. But I used like the spring start full year last year in the A5 size, and oh my gosh, it got so big. So I'm hoping that this will help me. So yes, we're starting with May. So on May 1st, I do have a really special picture there of my bestie Casey and her daughter Mickey. She came into the world on May 1st. So of course I had to document that. So I have the photo there. Sometimes whenever I print off my photos, I will add like a fun little border around them. That's been something that I've been enjoying. So I did that, and then I added my title. So of course I'm using the big pack of all the colors of mild liners. I just bought a brand new pack of those so that I could have some fresh markers for the summer, which I am just loving. Mild liners are my favorite. They don't seem to bleed through much at all for me. I mean, every now and then I'll have a little bit of ghosting, but in general seems to be really great markers to use in here in the Hobonichi. And then you can see that I'm just using like a standard pen from Target. I don't remember the exact brand, but I can get that info to you if you're interested. But I mean, it's literally just like a super basic pen that I got at Target. It's not a gel pen or anything. I just wanted to get something that wouldn't smear in here. So that's what I went with. I also will have links to like the sticker paper that I use and things like that down at the bottom if you are interested. So what I typically do whenever I start on my Hobonichi, especially like today, whenever I need to play catch up on several days. So we're going to work on, I think, the 1st through the 5th today. So I get pretty caught up. And what I typically do is I'll take a little sticky note, which I keep right by my desk, and I'll just kind of like look through my phone, or I will look through my photos or something like that, and I will try to kind of go through the days that I need to work on and jot down a few things about what I want to document. And then if I have a corresponding photo or meme or whatever it is that I need to print off, I'll do that. I always print it off on sticker paper, which helps with both. Obviously it has the sticky on the back, but also it's very thin. So it helps with like bulking up the album. And then I'll get started on my back journaling. So I try not to get any more than like a week behind. And that's why I would love to share these journal with me videos over here, because it does really help me to stay on top of things whenever I have a video to film. So you can see that there I did my main title as Sweet Mickey, and then I did a little subtitle with like little circles that says she's here, and then added on my journaling. I also did another subtitle at the bottom in one of my little colorful blobs, and I just put hair time because that same day me and my mom also went to hair appointments together, which was really fun. So I did put a sticker down at the bottom from my Bando sticker book. Those are some of my favorites to use. They just have a lot of really adorable illustrations from different illustrators and artists. So it's just kind of a fun thing to add in there. And of course, my washi tape. And I'm so sorry, I really don't know where any of these washies are from. They're just a total random assortment and collection of washies from over the years. So there's not very many that I like directly know where I picked that up. But I always have fun just kind of mixing and matching, tearing, and just popping on different pieces of washi tape. I always add extra little doodles or extra stickers, things like that, to fill in all the spaces. So then as we move over to the second, I didn't really have a lot going on that day, but I knew that one of the days where I had maybe like I didn't have a very busy day, I knew that I wanted to include at least one older photo of my mom. So that's what I did there at the bottom. That's my mom and my Auntie Sherry. And so, of course, the one that I put the little kind of sunbeamy kind of things out of is my mom. So I've been looking through all of these older photos and getting things organized and taking pictures of all these pictures and everything because my mom is retiring at the end of the month, which is so exciting. And we are having a retirement party for her this week. So it's been really fun looking through old pictures and getting things all sorted for that. And I found some real gems. So I wanted to include one of those in here as well. So another thing that I do quite a bit just to kind of change things up so that I don't have every single title handwritten, I'm using these really old wooden stamps. They're really small stamps, probably from Michael's or some craft store like that. And I like to do titles sometimes in the stamps. Now I'm just using my Catherine Pooler ink pads. I have like a few of those that have like all of the tiny ink pads, so you can get like a lot of different colors to work with. They will go through to the other side, especially if I am not like aware and I'm pressing down too hard. So I just try to give it a really, really light impression, just enough so that you can like see what I'm spelling out, but not so much that the ink is just going to really saturate the other side of the paper. So for this one, I titled it Loving Old Photos, and then I added on a few little doodles, added on another Bando sticker there at the bottom, and then I did another pink color blob to match the one I did on the first, and I titled this one Retirement, and then I'm just telling that same story about getting all of the photos together, and also just about how excited I am to have my mom retiring. So she does currently work from home, but since I am also home and we are neighbors, as you might know, I'm excited that we will get to have even more time together. And we've just been talking about all the fun things that we can do, and we won't be limited to like our schedule that we are now. So I'm just really looking forward to that. So I just wanted to add in a few little thoughts about that. And then we're moving on to the third and the fourth. So as you can see, these pages come together pretty quickly, and that's what I personally am loving about the A6 size. So like I said before, I used the A5 last year, which I've done flip throughs of every month that I've worked on my hobo over here. So I'm sure if you've been kind of following along, you know that. But the A5, I did really love that size as well, but I just found that some days, like obviously if I had a big day, I had a lot to talk about, the A5 size didn't like bother me at all. But on days where I was kind of struggling with what I like with doing anything, like if I just had really basic days with not much to talk about, I kind of did struggle pretty severely with filling in that A5 size. And as I was talking with some of my friends and stuff, I was thinking also, I think maybe part of that is because I have really small handwriting. So to fill in the A6, it just works out perfectly for me. But to fill in that A5, it just became like really a lot. So I think that I found my sweet spot with the A6 Hobonichi for sure. So moving on to the third and the fourth, I did have two pictures printed off for this one. So I've still been using the Photo Room app. I just enjoy the app to take the background out of my photos, but I do know that you can also just do that directly on your phone. Like you can make a sticker or whatever now with the iPhone, so you can do that. But that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just taking the background out of my photo and then I print it off that way so that it looks more like a sticker and there isn't a background portion. So that's what I did for both of these pictures. Over here on the third, it's of the pancakes that Will made. And so I titled it, I Love Pancakes. And I did add on some washi and then a few of those stickers as well. Here I'm using a combo of the Bando sticker book and also that baby sticker is actually from a washi sticker book that I use quite frequently that I got from Amazon. So I have several of those and I have them linked below. I think they're really great because they basically look like magazine clippings, but they're printed on washi paper. So they're just so like very, very light, very thin and wonderful for the hobo. So I've added in my journaling, just basically talking about how Will made us pancakes and just kind of from scratch. And then we had some blueberries, so he put some of those in some of them and chocolate chips in the other ones, and they were so good. And I love sweets, so this was like a great surprise for me that day. This was on a Friday, so I talked about how it was a really nice way to kind of start the weekend. Then I have a subtitle with the little tiny colorful circles there at the bottom, and I put book club time because that night I did have my last official Patreon book club meeting, and I just talked about how lovely it was and how I love getting together with all of them and just all that kind of stuff. So I wrote about that at the bottom. And then over here on the 4th, I am going to do my title kind of at an angle up here at the top right corner. And I'm spelling out Patreon update. So I've told little bits of my Patreon story here in my hobo, but not really like the full thing. So I thought this day I didn't have anything in particular to talk about on Saturday. So I thought that maybe I would mention my just tell my story about Patreon a little bit more. So I add my title. I'm going to outline it. And down there at the bottom, I received these absolutely gorgeous flowers from my friend Laura Sparks, which was such a treat and was so nice. I've had kind of a rough last month, so it was just such a nice thing for her to do. And so, of course, I have printed those out and I'm putting them in all of my documenting. So I have them here as well. So I'm adding on a few little stickers and then I'll add in my journaling. So I just wanted to talk about both of those things. So yeah, I made the decision to stop my Patreon. I have loved it and the community over there has been absolutely just fantastic. I've met so many amazing people. I have had such a blast, but just with creative kind of burnout and things, I just decided to take a break. And like I said, I do want to maybe put a vlog up or something over here sometime soon, maybe next week or something, kind of just chatting a little more about that. So I won't get into too much detail, but I am hoping to be posting a little more over here. So we'll see how that goes. So I added a little subtitle or a highlighted area there that said "so sweet" with a little arrow and talked about the flowers. And then just almost as a barrier between the "so sweet" title and the next part of my journaling that I'm doing now, I added on a few pink stars. And what I've been enjoying doing is like I'll draw the star with a mild liner marker, and then you'll see I'll go back inside of it and draw on the star with my pen, and I just think that's really cute, so I added that in. And then we'll be working on the last page here on the 5th. So for this one, I'm adding in my washi tape, of course, and then we'll kind of get things going. And for this day, I thought that I would do a little list of sorts. So I'm going to list out 3 things that have like currently been going on with me or over the weekend, like 3 things that I was doing. So I did a little paragraph about on this day, which was Sunday. I had an early morning coffee and grocery shopping run with my mom, and that I was excited to go with her. And it was almost like a scavenger hunt because we were getting like all these specialty items for some recipes that me and Will are going to be doing. So we looked through one of our cookbooks and chose a few recipes to try this week, which is really exciting because Will really likes to cook. So it was super fun to get to kind of like go through the store and find things that we don't normally buy. And it felt really good whenever we found everything. So that's what I talked about first. Then also talked about cleaning up the house a little bit and not getting everything done, but that every little bit counts. And then my last thing was just all about getting on Marco Polo with a few of my friends and how it's been really fun to chit chat over there throughout the days as well. So I'm going to add that journaling in, and it's going to pop up pretty quickly. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and tell you what it was about. But over here on the left side of the spread, I decided to just I wanted to stack everything on the left side. So you'll see I do have the washi at the bottom, but then I have the large bird sticker at the top. I've added my title, which is Little Things. And then I am going to find a bigger washi sticker to put kind of in that row on the left side. You'll see that as we go. And then I'm going to do a yellow line to divide the two sides of the spread, and I'll add my journaling onto the right side. So it'll all start to come together here in a few minutes, and it just feels so good to have the Hobonichi all caught up. So me and Will went on our little trip to Detroit last weekend for it was like Friday through Monday we got home. So just having those few days off from documenting and then just like starting the next week and just like getting deep into it, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many days to fill in. So I did a little bit over in my last journal video over on Patreon, but then very quickly I was like, wow, okay, May has started. I have many days that I need to get caught up on. So this morning, I thought, what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and create a journal with me video over here for YouTube. And it really does help me because with these daily journaling pages, like you can get behind so quickly. It is no joke to daily journal for sure. So if you want to stay on top of it, you really have to like think about it and make time. And so I thought, well, what better time to do it than this morning and to film it so that I can share it with all of you. So you can see that I'm doing like a little pink circle there, which I'm adding my 1, my 2, and my 3, and then I add in all of my journaling in place there on the right side. I might add in a couple more doodles, but otherwise this page is done. And then at the very end, I'll give you an up close flip really quick of all of the pages that we worked on today. But I hope that you enjoyed this journal video, and I hope that you will enjoy kind of getting more peeks into my Hobonichi from now on. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I'll be back to chit chat super soon. Have a great one, friends. Bye, y'all.